Hola y bienvenidos al programa de Reenfoque Houston. Mi nombre es Roger Palomino. Por muchos siglos ha existido la práctica de la acupuntura. Se originó en el país China y se ha practicado en diferentes partes del mundo. La acupuntura consiste de aplicar agujas chiquitas en diferentes partes del cuerpo. Esto ayuda a aliviar problemas con el sistema nervioso o muscular. Hoy, aquí en la ciudad de Houston, vamos a hablar con los doctores Tiong y Nancy Ling, que nos hablan sobre esta práctica de la medicina alternativa. Hi everyone, and I'm here at Peking Acupuncture Clinic with Dr. Tiong Ling. Both Dr. Tiong and Nancy Ling were among the very first batch to be licensed to practice acupuncture in the state of Texas. Both have their PhDs, a husband and wife team, and they've served as past presidents of the Texas Association of Acupuncturists. They jointly published books regarding the topic of acupuncture, and they both were educated in Chinese and English and learned acupuncture under the national acupuncture experts in China. Dr. Ling, thank you very much for being with us today.
Welcome you here.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about acupuncture for the viewers that might not know what it is. What is acupuncture in your definition?
In the early years of Chinese history, there were so little on the record, but one of which people were surprised was when they were in the Stone Age, they have been already trying acupuncture to treat medical ailments. Mm-hmm. At that time, what was available was sharp stones. So acupuncture was started by the Chinese long time ago, almost like a prehistoric attempt to cure ailments and medical problems. So these have a very long history in China. The Chinese established from stone needle to metal and then to modern needle. And this has a long history using what they only have at that time to treat ailments and medical problems. Inexpensive, and then they figure out a safe way to do it, and then not only inexpensive but very safe and sometimes quick result. And not only quick result, also long-lasting result.
Yeah, that's very interesting you mentioned that. So for those that are new to acupuncture, don't know a lot about it, how does acupuncture work on the body?
Acupuncture has several ways to treat ailments, and one of which is intrigue the body to do its own repair. That is one way that we can tell people how acupuncture works. But also, it can control the body function through acupuncture points. For example, some people got flu or cold. It can be treated acupuncture way. It can be verified by lab test. The treatment will lead to raising the white cell count. Not forever, but for a day or two. As you know, when the white cell count is raised, you help your body to have a more like a soldier to fight against enemy. And that is another example how acupuncture works. So, in a way, the acupuncture, by the use of needle and moxa roll, and sometimes along with herbs, help the body to do its own repair and then do so safely and easily and with long-lasting result.
Yeah, and I also read up too that both you and your wife earned your PhDs in this field. So tell us about your former education prior to coming to Houston, Texas.
We both acquired PhD degree in USA, but not in acupuncture. We both went to Hong Kong to learn acupuncture, and thereafter we were close to those national experts, and we got the chance to identify and make friends with the national expert in the very early and 1980s. We made many trips to China to attend special training classes, at which time the classes were not open to foreigners. And one time my wife went to China, she was not allowed to go to the class. At that situation. So at that early, we went to China many trips. So our mentor include at that time top national expert in China.
Wow. So then in 1982, both of you made your way to Houston, Texas. And as far as like the different ailments that you treat, tell us about what those ailments are and some of your patients that have been treated with that.
The most common ailments or medical problems that we have been rendering our service in our 30 years of practice will be pain problem, and the most of which will be backache. So backache, headache, arthritis, shoulder, neck, elbow, hand, leg pains, all can be treated the acupuncture way. Actually, beside cancer, there will be very, very few ailments that acupuncture cannot render any help. It can. With this method, we have in our 36 years of practice helped a lot of people to release sometimes years of pain, sometimes 10, 20 years of pain to no avail seeking help. And this simple treatment can help them get out of the agony from having to suffer pain.
Yeah, and it was very interesting too because I've read up on all the ailments and how acupuncture helps the nervous system. In addition to what you mentioned, like to quit smoking, weight problems, and also nervous anxiety issues and reproductive issues too. So I've read also that you've treated patients from over 40 countries and 4 continents. Tell us about those patients.
This is something rather surprising to us. In the early years, when we practice acupuncture, we unintentionally discovered a way to treat addiction, and with which we have very high success rate. And for those smoker or under a certain addiction, try everything available to quit to no avail. We can do it so easily. That is what draw patient to us from all over USA, from Florida to New York to California, and plus 40 foreign countries. These are those who have tried everything available. They couldn't do it, and then we can do it. And through word of mouth, introduced by close friends, family members, people will fly in from far away. This is something when we started, we never dreamed one day we could accomplish. So we are not only national, we are international, drawing patients from all over the world in big 4 continents.
Yeah, that's interesting too. And also reading up on your website about your history too, that you've published books. So tell us about those books in regard to acupuncture.
In the early years, about almost 30 years ago, we jointly published acupuncture book. This is the book that we first published, and it answers a lot of questions that patient has. This book is not written for any acupuncturist to read, but rather for the general public. So all the information we collected in this book are fit for those who want to know about acupuncture, for the patient to know. And we have been given to patients who found us from the internet to giving them a free copy of books. So when they come here, they can ask for that.
Excellent. So you have everything you want to know about acupuncture. And what about the 2 other books?
2 other books that we wrote is one is the benefit to drink green tea that we published several years ago, joint authorship with my wife. And this is another, the hidden danger in tap water that we published some years ago. So we have 3 books on it.
Yeah, and I also saw on your website too that with social media being so popular, that your website or your practice was given some type of recognition. Tell us about that.
We have helped a lot of people. And all those being helped, some even offer voluntary to give a testimonial. So we have collected quite a bit of reading testimonial. Plus, later on, we had video testimonial for many patients. And we never thought when we got them and it could be used on the web page. At that time, no web page that we dream about. So when we put this on the web page, it serves good information for those who want to seek competent acupuncturists, and it helps us to draw patients to us. And sometimes it draws patients from far away. We just have patients from Arizona, from Chicago, and far away. And when they go to the webpage, they found us far away from Houston. May I know, when did you start to have the pain?
I had it a week ago, and what I was doing is I was reaching to unplug an iron on my right side, so I experienced this dull pain on my lower back on the lower right-hand side.
Is the pain constant or occasional?
Occasional, only when I bend toward my right.
Do you have pain when you move, when you walk, or you also have pain when you sit or lie down on the bed?
Only when I sit, and mainly when I sit on my right.
Okay. So this should be very minor.
Yeah.
Easily taken care of.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping.
So you can lie down and I will start to treat you.
Okay, that's great.
And I use the tapping method, to tap the needle in. The duration of the insertion will be very short, so the pain being experienced will be much less. That's what we started out 30-some years ago. We used this method, and we feel it is a very quick and easy way to do it, and resulting from much less pain.
Acupuncture, we can use it like visualize, like we puncture through certain acupuncture points through the meridians and everything, and then it helps to break the wall. So now your cells started getting help from other cells to coming in. So now your body started here, do the repair work. Yeah, I think it's one of the most promising one, simply because you don't have to using drugs. So you can get help or recover your problems without helping or drug. That's the problem right now, is the drug. We're using too much. And so we need to eliminate those things and still get a healthy body without anything that chemical helps.
And this is a more natural and alternative way of treating the ailment.
Ailments, yes, definitely. So that's why I feel like it's very promising for that, for the everybody in Houston, so that you don't have to go into that kind of forever depends on the chemical to help you.
Muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotros en el programa Reenfoque Houston. Si desean estar en el programa o tienen preguntas, me pueden escribir a rpalomino@hmstv.org. Muchas gracias por estar en sintonía con nosotros. Hasta la próxima.